What's up, agency owners? Jason Swenk here, and got another great episode coming to you. And we're going to talk around AI and what you can do with really kind of targeting the right audience, as well as having the AI tool write the copy for you to convert faster. So I'm excited to get in this episode. So let's jump in. Hey, Ann, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Jason.
Yeah, so tell us who you are and what do you guys do?
Well, my name is Anne, and I'm the founder and CEO of Supercharged Lab. Supercharged Lab is a cognitive artificial intelligence company, which means we take AI and a lot of data and we attempt to understand what goes on inside your head, or rather, listen to the voice in your head. And we do that for the purpose of applying it to sales and marketing, and we try to improve the ROIs for our clients. And so far, it's been quite a ride.
Cool. And so how did you all come up with developing this?
Well, I guess it started with the idea that we said, what if we could get inside the heads of people and understand what information they required to make decisions? In that way, we could make decision making more predictable, less noise and bias, and well, improve results across all kinds of decisions that are being made, whether it's medical decisions or diagnosis, whether it's sales and marketing, purchase behavior. So, we decided to try to figure out what information people take in order to make decisions, and we came up with an algorithm which profiles the information that people take in, the cognitive style of people, what we call, or the psychological profile. And well, the rest is history. After we applied it to sales and marketing, we've seen significant lift in our customer ROIs. We have had customers who literally renew their campaigns with us so often that they tell us they cannot see a day without using our solution.
Awesome. And tell us kind of how did you guys really kind of write the algorithm in order to, get inside our heads? I mean, how does all that work? That's always fascinating.
So I think that's a great question, Jason. So a lot of people look at what we write, because when we write, whatever we write, the content of what we write is driven by who our audience is. It's what we want to say. But a lot of people fail to realize that what really gives us away is how we write, the tones, the structure, the number of emoji or bullet points, or the kind of words that we use. That actually is the voice inside our head. That's the tone of the voice inside our head. It gives clues into things like, your emotional state, your personality style, your social styles of interaction, or even your style of conflict management. By understanding how we write, we basically were able to take these language models, parse it into a algorithm, and well, we have been able to put everybody into some categories of psychological profiles, or what we call cognitive styles, and hopefully using rules-based and data-driven algorithms, we're able to cut out a lot of the noise that actually, gives right comes from manual advertising and marketing.
I feel dirty. You're profiling me. um,
I don't do that.
so, how would someone, as an agency, they, and I'm talking more about not for their clients, but really for themselves, right? So, we just got done, as we're recording this week, our digital agency experience, where we have 28 of the best agency owners come out to my house in Colorado, and we brainstorm on strategies and what's working. And the common theme, and this is among most digital agency owners, and if if you don't admit this, you're supporting terrorism. But we they struggle with doing their own marketing and creating themselves as their own clients. And a lot of them struggle with just identifying who their audience, because they try to go after everybody. So how could AI really help them out in order to reach more of the audience because they may not know who they're targeting yet.
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest struggles as a marketing organization is actually understanding where your sweet spot is, and using algorithms, you can actually do a lot of experimentation. One of the biggest things that AI does is that it gives you a score of how much you are able to resonate, how accurate your targeting is. So if, for example, you think you would like to go after, medium-sized business with revenues between 10 to 50 million, and you don't really know whether this is really the sweet spot for you, you can actually test the targeting, and you can test things like your outbound messages as well as your response rates. And if you see that your response rates are lower than another particular industry, you know it's possibly time to change, and don't throw good money after a bad result all the time. And so that's what Einstein says is stupidity. Expecting a different result by doing the same thing all the time is insanity. So what I would do is use algorithms, use artificial intelligence, or what we call big data, to understand what your audience is and test the vigor at which they will respond. Now, I've done that a lot with myself, with my own audience, and I've noticed that we try to grow our customers by going after bigger companies. Well, it doesn't work. We realized that we were not getting any conversions, we were not getting any customers inquiring. So we said, maybe we should go back to the smaller businesses, and at the same time, we we change up, the different industry. So algorithms are great ways to experiment, and it's cheap, it's fast. It takes me 3 days to identify whether this is the right market. You're not wasting time. So yeah.
Very cool. So, will AI will AI replace what agencies are doing for clients? Like I look at it as, and I've been telling agencies like this for a long time. And if you think about kind of the car industry, many 100 years ago, I guess, you know, the car industry created dealers, or the
Mhm.
manufacturer created dealers, and they were the middlemen selling to the public because you can't go to the dealer. And forever it was that way. And then Tesla came out, and you don't go through a dealer. You buy it
Right.
right from the manufacturer. And I kind of see a lot of this starting to happen with agencies that are just doing a particular service where Facebook and Google would always promote agencies, but I kind of see them starting to kind of pull back from agencies a little bit because now people can go directly to them and not use the middlemen.
Yeah, for sure. I think one of the things about technology is that it's becoming very quickly democratized. Artificial intelligence just a few years ago was all about building training models, putting in a lot of data, huge, massive slices of data. Today, it cost me $16.39 to run a learning model. It takes maybe about an hour to train a model, and it can be really, really quick, and easy, with a high level of accuracy to train a artificial intelligence model. Is the technology strong enough to completely replace a human? I think not at this point. I think there is still a way to go, where yeah, copy is not going to sound like it's artificially written. So that's something which I think is going to have to develop a little bit more. But to understand your audience, to predict the audience with a level of certainty, it's starting to become quite democratized. So I think, yes, to a large extent, artificial intelligence is going to upend the advertising industry. But that being said, artificial intelligence is going to upend almost every industry if you let it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's that's what innovation is. It should always challenge the status quo and make us better. And the one thing I always tell agencies is use the new technology, the new innovations to your benefit and to benefit your clients, going forward. This has all been great, Anne. Is there anything I didn't ask you that you think would benefit the audience?
Yeah, I think the biggest question that we have as marketing organizations is how do we reduce that wastage? Today, up to 26% of ad spend is wasted on inefficient positioning, inefficient messaging, and I think a lot of us have to try to learn that data driven algorithms and rules based algorithms are not the enemy. Our enemy is embracing the innovation that is coming. So I think our enemy is truly ourselves. If we get over ourselves, we can definitely grow the business in a major way.
Awesome. What's the website people can go and check you guys out?
Well, it's superchargedlab.com. Remember, it's superchargedlab without an S at the end.com.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming on the show, Anne. You did great. Lots of great insights. And if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure you guys subscribe, make sure you comment. And if you guys want to be around the best agency owners out there and really tap into their heads, because maybe you haven't tapped into the AI yet, I want to invite all of you to go to digitalagencyelite.com and apply. And if we feel that you're right and the group's right for you, we'll have a chat. And so go to digitalagencyelite.com. And until next time, have a swank day.